as the attorney said, I'm not denying the fact that what I did on the day of June 2nd was not in compliance with the SOG. I guess one of my issues is the fact of the difference between destroying the medication and wasting the medication. The county attorney stated that several of the paramedics questioned the way we were handling the medication that day. In my recollection, I only remember 2 of the medics actually saying something, "You sure you don't want us to dispose of this, to destroy the medication as opposed to just placing it into the biohazard waste container?" I know she said most of them, I only remember 2. There are some other extenuating circumstances that were in there. I was required on that day. Normally when I did that exchange of medications, it was the only thing I had on my plate for that day, so that it would be my total focus for that day. Deputy Chief at the time, Kathy Weaver, had assigned me an additional responsibility, not as my supervisor, but as a deputy chief, so indirectly as a supervisor of mine, to escort a state inspector around to the stations as he was doing a final inspection on a storm shutter project that we had gotten a grant for. I had requested at that time from her, when she initially asked me to take the state inspector around, stated that I was doing the controlled substances that day, because they did expire at midnight that night, which means we would have been out of compliance if I had not done the exchange that day. And asked her to have someone else escort the inspector for 2 reasons. One being so I was concentrating on the controlled substances for the day. The second being I wasn't actively involved in the storm shutter program because I had been gone the previous year when they were installed. I felt that maybe somebody else in the department was better suited to do that. She stated, basically, you can take care of it, handle it, drive on. So I had multiple things working at the same time, which added a little bit of stress, confusion to the process. As the attorney said, I don't deny that I violated the SOG. Yes, I should have been aware, in my statement, I should have been aware of the SOG because I helped write the SOG earlier that year. Again, I go back to the waste versus destroy the medication. HRS guidelines says it will be destroyed, rendered unusable. It is a biohazard waste container. It is a secure container. It's not just an open box or an open container. It was what we consider sealed when I left the night of June 2nd at the station. We tape it up, mark the date and where it's from. There's nothing on the container to say what's in the contents of the container. So if you were to go to the station right now, there would be other containers just like that one sitting in the station. You wouldn't be able to recognize which one is which or what they have in them. When my supervisor, Deputy Chief Frank Pasica, asked me about it, I explained to him what had occurred, why I made the decision to do what I had done. His corrective action to me was to, 1, go back to the station, account for the medications, and destroy them, which we did the next day at Station 42 with Lieutenant Huber. And then basically from that point on, that was the end of the discussion as far as that medication went that day, until 6 weeks prior to me departing, or 4 weeks prior to me departing for military duty. An internal investigation was started in reference to another incident that was going on with controlled substances at the same time. Didn't try to hide this from anybody. Was trying to be honest and do the right thing, which I've always done throughout my career with the fire department and with the military. I'm not arguing that I didn't, whether or not I violated policy. Yes, I violated policy in the actions of, and I take full responsibility for my actions. What was initially giving corrective action, made that corrective action not only on the spot for correcting that the medications were destroyed, rendered unusable, but also changed the way we did exchange of medication from that day forward. Was wondering, my thought in here is demotion to lieutenant. I understand that it could have been up to termination with my long-standing career and what I've done with it within the department and for the department. I just felt that maybe I should have had less of a of a degree. I also see the county side that, yeah, it is a high visibility type incident and understanding. So thank you for your time and consideration.